Hello and welcome to the CottageCutz YouTube channel. My name is Lynn, or LV Handcrafted here on YouTube, and today I am going to make a bit of a tunnel card. So I'm starting off with a card base that is 5x5 top folding, and I've inked up a little bit of some light blue on the card front, and then I just die cut a circle straight out of the front of the card. Don't forget to open up your card base before you do your die cutting so that you're only cutting through the front. And with this tunnel card, I will create two scenes that both feature the spring frog with mushroom die set. And so our frog is going to be our star of both scenes. The first scene will be when the card is closed, and we'll build that from the front of the card base, and then when you open up your card, that will reveal a second scene, and that we will build up on the inside of the card. I do like to, because the frog is going to be the star of both scenes, I want to make sure that I assemble and glue down my frog first. And even though the die set does include dies that create really cute eyes for the frog, I decided to use my googly eyes, which just happened to be the perfect size for him. So I thought that was a little bit fun, just a different way of getting eyes onto our frog here. And between these three sets, the spring frog with mushroom, the pond with cattails and lily pad, and the garden flower, I am just going to start on the first scene and build up all of these elements around that circular aperture, making sure to not completely cover up the frog, but I do want to leave some elements a surprise. So with this log here, I want to cover up the pond of water that the frog is sitting in on the inside of the card. And that way, from before you open the card, there's this log, which makes it more seem like he is on land, maybe. And then when you open the card, it's more, you get a different feel, a different look, because it almost seems like he's on water. And as I collage up and build up my scene, I do want to soften that circular aperture by making sure that some of my elements actually kind of, overlap and cross over into that open aperture that we die cut out of. Just make sure, if you're going to do this, to not put any adhesive behind the elements that do cross over into the circle, because you don't want to accidentally glue your card shut. And so anything that overhangs, make sure there's no adhesive behind there. And between these three sets that I'm using, there are a lot of scene building elements that you can play with. And I die cut them all and assembled what needed to be assembled in advance. That way I just have a lot of elements to work with, and then I can just build up my scene from there. So I want to almost sort of frame our frog here with all of this greenery, with the foliage, and then just sort of kind of make it seem like he's part of the scene, but that there's just a lot else going on around him. So if you caught my last video on this channel, CottageCutz was giving away a die set, and if you left a comment on that video, you had a chance to win. So if you want to see whether you won that die set, go ahead and open the description box of this video, and you'll see who the winner is and how to claim your prize. In this video, because our frog here is the star of both of our scenes, CottageCutz will be giving away the spring frog with mushroom die set. So if you'd like a chance to win the frog die set, all you need to do is like this video, leave a comment on this video, and you might be in for a chance to win this. The winner of the die set will be announced on my next video, and so stay tuned for that. The giveaway is limited to US residents only though, so please bear that in mind. But I always love to hear from everybody, so if you are an international viewer and you would love to let me know what you think of this card, or if you have any questions about anything that I'm showing, please do also still feel free to comment, but do let us know that you are an international viewer. Okay, so moving along with our scene, I'm just continuing to build up this foliage, trying to make it look as natural as possible. And this adorable little ladybug, I could not resist adding. The ladybug does come from the Spring Frog die set, so super adorable, and I love having that spot of red on the front of the card because everything else is very, it's very kind of nature colors and just your greens and your blues and your browns, very earthy colors. But having that red, which can be a very eye-catching color, I think really helps add some interest, and it really gives your eye a place to really just zoom in on and focus on, because otherwise I think it's a really lovely scene and you kind of take it in as a whole, but having the little bit of red, I feel like gives you a place to like really focus on first, and so I just love that that little touch there. And the other reason why I wanted to definitely use the ladybug, and especially on the front scene, is because I knew I would use the red-capped mushroom that I made on the inside. And so I don't want that mushroom to be the only bit of red, and because it's so big, it's really hard to find a place to position the mushroom where you won't see it if when the card is closed. And so I want actually intentionally to have a little bit of this peeking through so that you can see it when the card is closed, but maybe you don't know exactly what it is. And so that, I'm hoping, will actually create a little bit of intrigue, a little bit of suspense, and just make you more curious to actually open the card and see what's going on in there. Because at first blush, you may not even realize that there's a circle that's been cut out of the front of the card. So I think it's going to help to sort of add that bit of suspense, to have just that little bit of red peeking through. And so I did want a second bit of red in the ladybug so that your eyes can kind of bounce between the two. And then I just added a punny sentiment, happy birthday, to the front. And here's that inside scene where I've added some of the pond elements. And of course, we've got our large mushroom as well. I hope that you enjoyed this card, and let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Again, if you want to be in for a chance to win the Spring Frog with Mushroom, go ahead and like this video, leave a comment, and during my next video on this channel, I'll announce who the winner is. Thanks again, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye!